Imagine running a business where the lights can go off at any moment. Imagine studying for an important exam by candlelight. Imagine spending millions of naira every year on generators and fuel just to keep basic operations running. For more than 200 million Nigerians, this is not imagination. It is reality. Nigeria is Africa's largest economy, one of the continent's biggest oil and gas producers, and home to some of the most talented entrepreneurs in the world. Yet millions of homes and businesses continue to struggle with unreliable electricity. So why does a country blessed with enormous energy resources still face a power crisis? What went wrong? And more importantly, can Nigeria finally solve its electricity problem? This is the story of Nigeria's power sector. Nigeria's electricity journey began more than a century ago. In 1896, the first electricity supply was introduced in Lagos during the colonial era. At the time, electricity was limited to a small number of locations and users. As cities expanded and economic activities increased, power infrastructure gradually spread to other parts of the country. Over the years, different electricity agencies were merged into a single organization known as the National Electric Power Authority. For many Nigerians, it became simply known as NEPA. For decades, NEPA served as the face of electricity generation and distribution across the country. But while the population continued to grow rapidly, investment in infrastructure struggled to keep pace. The system that was originally designed to serve a much smaller population now faced the challenge of supplying power to tens of millions of people. As demand increased, the cracks within the system became more visible. Recognizing these challenges, Nigeria began major reforms in the power sector. The goal was ambitious: increase investment, improve efficiency, expand electricity access, and ultimately provide more reliable power for Nigerians. Generation companies were separated, transmission infrastructure was restructured. Distribution companies were assigned responsibility for delivering electricity to consumers. It was hoped that private sector participation and increased competition would modernize the industry. The expectation was clear: more investment would lead to better infrastructure. Better infrastructure would lead to more reliable electricity, and more reliable electricity would support economic growth. But despite these reforms, stable power remained out of reach for many Nigerians. The question was why? The challenges facing Nigeria's electricity sector are complex. The first challenge is power generation. Although Nigeria possesses significant generation assets, not all available capacity can consistently reach consumers. Technical limitations, maintenance challenges, fuel supply issues, and operational constraints often reduce actual output. The second challenge is transmission. Electricity generated at power plants must travel across long distances before reaching homes and businesses. This requires a reliable transmission network. When transmission infrastructure becomes overloaded or experiences faults, electricity delivery is disrupted. The third challenge is distribution. Even when electricity is successfully generated and transmitted, the final stage of delivery often encounters additional difficulties. Aging equipment, network limitations, technical losses, and infrastructure failures all contribute to unreliable supply. At the same time, Nigeria's population has continued to grow rapidly. Millions of households, schools, hospitals, factories, and businesses depend on electricity every day. Demand continues to rise faster than infrastructure expansion. The result is a system operating under constant pressure. The consequences of unreliable electricity extend far beyond inconvenience. Across the country, small businesses spend significant amounts on generators and fuel. Manufacturers face higher operating costs. Students struggle with interrupted study schedules. Hospitals rely on backup power systems to maintain critical services. Digital businesses, technology companies, and data centers depend on stable electricity to operate efficiently. When power becomes unreliable, productivity suffers, costs increase, and economic growth slows. For many business owners, energy expenses have become one of their largest operational costs. In today's world, electricity is no longer a luxury. It is the foundation upon which modern economies are built. Without reliable power, development becomes more difficult, investment becomes less attractive, and opportunities become harder to create. Despite the challenges, there are reasons for optimism. Many countries around the world have overcome similar energy problems through investment, innovation, and long-term planning. Nigeria possesses vast natural gas resources capable of supporting power generation. The country also enjoys enormous solar energy potential. Across different regions, renewable energy projects are already bringing electricity to communities that previously had limited access. Mini-grids are expanding energy access in rural areas. Advances in battery storage technology are creating new opportunities for reliable power delivery. Smart grid technologies are improving the efficiency of modern electricity systems. Rather than relying on a single solution, Nigeria's future energy system may combine multiple approaches: a stronger national grid, renewable energy, battery storage, natural gas generation, and decentralized power systems. Together, these solutions could help close the country's electricity gap. Nigeria's electricity challenge was not created overnight, and it will not be solved overnight. But the future of the country's economy, education, healthcare, and technological advancement depends on reliable energy. The question is no longer whether Nigeria needs stable electricity. The question is how quickly the country can build the systems required to deliver it. With the right investments, the right policies, and the right innovations, a future with reliable electricity is possible. What do you think is the biggest obstacle to stable power in Nigeria? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to Next Wave Africa for more stories about Africa's past, present, and future.